Welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful and safe Halloween weekend. I don't know about you, but I've had like 6 Reese's peanut butter cups today, so my week is off to a good start. This week we're starting a new series called Welcome Beloved. If that sounds familiar, I hope it does, it's because it's one of Colonial's core values. So over the next few weeks, we're going to be talking about what it means to truly welcome other people into our lives. I think this topic is really important because we all know what it feels like to be unwelcome somewhere. And it can feel anywhere from uncomfortable to really, really painful. So it's our job as Christians to make sure that we don't cause that feeling for other people. When my parents were just 7 years old, their parents woke them up in the middle of the night, told them to pack a bag, packed them into the car, and drove them to a huge ship. They told them that they were going to get into that ship, they were going to go to the United States, and they were not going to come back. So I want you to think about how scary that would be as a 7-year-old to wake up in the middle of the night just to pack a few of your clothes and to be told, we're actually going to Germany and we're not going to come back to Edina. It's really scary. So for my parents, it was the middle of the Vietnam War, and there was a lot of violence around them. There were bombs being dropped, and so they decided that to stay safe, they had to find somewhere else to go. And they did find somewhere else to go because Christians in the United States decided to sponsor them. For my dad, it was a Catholic church, and for my mom's family, it was a Lutheran church. Both of these churches found their families places to stay. They paid for their English classes. They found them jobs. They provided them clothing. Those Christians truly welcomed my parents, even though they were strangers. Now, it's really easy to fail to do that as Christians. There were a lot of people who harassed and bullied my parents who thought that they shouldn't be there, that they should be back in their home country. It's really hard sometimes to welcome other people because it requires us to care. We want to do our own thing and be comfortable and not have to think about other people's pain. It's difficult and it's uncomfortable. It's hard, but that's what God requires of us. One of the Bible's central commands is to welcome the stranger. Here are just a few verses. Deuteronomy 10:19 says, "You shall also love the stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt." Deuteronomy 27:19 says, "Cursed is anyone who obstructs the legal rights of immigrants, orphans, or widows." Zechariah 7:9-10 says, "Make just and faithful decisions. Show kindness and compassion to each other. Don't oppress the widow, the orphan, the stranger, the poor. Don't plan evil against each other." Leviticus 19:34 says, "Any immigrant who lives with you must be treated as if they were one of your citizens. You must love them as yourself because you were immigrants in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God." Can you guess how many more verses in the Bible talk about loving the stranger? 5, 10, and 15? It's actually over 100. So it's really clear that one of our jobs as Christians is to love and welcome the stranger. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go out and be best friends with every stranger we meet, right? Like, that's not possible. But it does mean that we have a responsibility to invite others into our communities. If we notice that someone is sitting by themselves at the lunch table, I would say that we have a responsibility to invite them to sit with us. If someone is getting bullied, I think we have a responsibility to stand up for them. If we know that someone is lonely on a Friday night, we should invite them to go to Perkins with us and our friends. If people from other countries are scared for their lives, we should welcome them here. Welcoming the stranger really means opening our lives up to other people without expecting anything from them, but just doing it because it's the right thing to do. It means that we love all people unconditionally and look out for their good the same way we do with our friends and our family, without any exceptions. Jesus says that the way we treat the stranger is a reflection of our love for God. Matthew 25 says that God will say, "Get away from me, you who will receive terrible things. Go into the unending fire that has been prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungry and you didn't give me food to eat. I was thirsty and you didn't give me anything to drink. I was a stranger and you didn't welcome me. I was naked and you didn't give me clothes to wear. I was sick and in prison and you didn't visit me. Then they will say, Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or naked or sick or in prison and didn't do anything to help you? Then he will answer, I assure you that when you haven't done it for one of the least of these, you haven't done it for me. And they will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous will go into eternal life. So let's open our lives up to other people, even when it's inconvenient. Let's share our love and friendship with other people, even when it's people who are different from us, who we disagree with. Let's continue to open doors and build bridges instead of walls. Let's do what God calls us to do, to love the stranger as ourselves.